Hello guys, welcome to IB Math Solution. Today we are going to learn how to plot a line from its equation. So let's get started. There are two types of equations. One is called the gradient-intercept form and another is called general form of equation. So we must know how to plot a graph from each of the types of equation. So method 1 is plotting a straight line from gradient-intercept form of equation. Let's see the equation. Equation says y is equal to minus 2 divided by 3x plus 2. Here, if we compare it with the gradient intercept form of equation, y is equal to mx plus c, we can see that the value of m is minus 2 by 3 and the value of c is 2. Now we know c is the y-intercept. So we can directly plot this point on this graph. So c is equal to 2 means we are talking about this point, y is equal to 2. And also when we say m is equal to minus 2 by 3, so we mean either minus 2 by 3 or 2 divided by minus 3. They both mean the same thing. We also know that m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, or we can say y2 minus y1 is change in y, that is delta y. x2 minus x1 is change in x, that is delta x. So from this we can say that when the change in delta y, when the change in y is equal to minus 2, then we can say, so from this equation we can say when the change in x is 3, the change in y is minus 2. Now what does it mean on a graph? We can take this point, the one we have plotted from the y-intercept, we can take this point as our starting point and we move 3 units in the x direction, that is positive 3. So 3 units in the x direction will be this way. So we are here, if we move 3 points, 3 units in the x direction, that is 1, 2 and 3. And now if we move minus 2 units in the y direction, that will be downwards from here, that is minus 1 and then minus 2. So we land at this point. We can say our line will definitely intersect this point and this point, and we can plot a line by joining these 2 points. This is y is equal to minus 2 by 3x plus 2, and we have plotted the graph of this equation. Now if we move on to method 2, method 2 shows us how to plot a graph of a line when we are given with this form of equation, the general form. We know in general form we write the equation in the form ax plus by is equal to d. Here we can say a is equal to 2, b is equal to 3 and d is equal to 6. So we are plotting the graph of this equation, 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. Now to do so, we need to put the values of x and y in this equation. Now what values do we put? Let's say x is equal to 0. That's the easiest way. When we put x is equal to 0 in this equation, the equation becomes 2 into 0 plus 3 into y is equal to 6. That will be 0 plus 3y is equal to 6. And if we move this 3 onto the right side, we get y is equal to 6 divided by 3, that is 2. So we started with x is equal to 0 and we landed up at y is equal to 2. That means our line will pass through this point, 0, 2. That will be 0 on x-axis and 2 on y-axis. So we can say this is our point. Similarly, we can say, let's say y is equal to 0. Now when we plot when we put the value of y 0 in this very same equation, we get 2x plus 3 into 0 is equal to 6. Solving this equation, we get 2x plus 0 is equal to 6, and moving this 2 over to the right side, we get x is equal to 6 by 2, that is 3. So we can say that this 3 comma 0 also lands on the line. So how do we plot this 3 comma 0? So that is 3 in x direction, 1 2 3, and 0 in y direction. So this is the point. This is the point. And when we join these 2 points, we get a straight line, and this is the equation. This is the line for the equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. This is how we plot a line. Let's solve exercise 1b, which gives similar kind of questions. The first question says, draw the graph of all these equations. The method of plotting graph for each of them is same. I'll do only one of them, and you can practice the rest. Let's say I'll solve this one. Y is equal to minus 3 by 2x plus 4. We can say y-intercept. We can say y-intercept equal to c is equal to 4, and that's this point. We can also say m is equal to delta y divided by delta x is equal to minus 3 by 2. This means when we move 2 units in the x direction, we move minus 3 units in the y direction from this point. So when we move 2 units in the x direction, that is 1 2, we move 3 units in the y direction, in the negative y direction. That will be 1 2 and 3. So our line will pass through this point, and if we plot a line passing through these 2 points, we get a straight line, and this is the line of the equation. Let's move on to question number 2. Draw the graph of. Now how this question is different from the first question is, in the first question the equations are given in the gradient intercept form. However, in the second question the equations are given in the general form of the equation. So let's say I'll solve f, and rest you can do yourself the same way. 3x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. Now putting x is equal to 0 in this equation, we get 3 into 0 minus 4y is equal to minus 24. That is 0 minus 4y is equal to minus 24. Moving this minus 4 over to the right hand side, we get y is equal to minus 24 divided by minus 4. Now this negative cancels out this negative, and this 4 goes 6 times, it cancels this 24 out. So y is equal to 6. Now we know the point 0 comma 6 lies on the line. Now 0 comma 6 is here. Similarly, putting y is equal to 0, we in the same equation here we get 3x minus 4 into 0 is equal to minus 24. That gives us 3x is equal to 24, and x is equal to 24 divided by 3, that is 8. So we can say the point 8 comma 0 lies on the line, and that will be 8 comma 0, this point. If we draw a straight line from the 6, this will be our line for the equation 3x minus 4y is equal to minus 24. And that's our answer. Let's move on to question number 3. The question 3 says, consider the line with equation y is equal to minus 3 by 4x plus 2. Okay, so this is our equation. Find the gradient and y-intercept of the line. So for part A, we solved the similar kind of questions in exercise 1A. So part A, you can solve yourself. We have done a lot of questions like this. For part B, determine whether the following points lie on the line. So first point is 8, minus 4. So what we have to do here is, this is the value of x, this is the value of y. If we put the value of x and y in this equation, and the left hand side is equal to the right hand side of the equation, then we can say that this point lies on this line. So let's solve. Our equation is, let me write the equation again. The equation is y is equal to minus 3 by 4x plus 2. Now if we put this x and y in this equation, we get minus 3 by 4 into 8 plus 2, and this is equal to y. What is the value of y? Minus 4. So solving this, we get minus 6 plus 2. That's minus 4 is equal to, and if we solve this, we get minus 4. Therefore, LHS left hand side is equal to RHS right hand side, and hence 0.8 minus 4 lies on the line minus 3 by 4x plus 2 . Similarly, for part 2, we have 1, 3. Now putting the value of x and y in this equation, we get 3 is equal to minus 3 by 4 into x, that is 1 plus 2. So 3 is equal to minus 3 by 4 plus 2. If we solve this, we get minus 3 plus 8 divided by 4, and that is 5 by 4. Now we know 3 is not equal to 5 by 4. So we can say LHS is not equal to RHS. And hence, the point 1, 3 doesn't lie on the line y is equal to minus 3 by 4 x plus 2. Now we have done both kind of questions. For this third point, minus 2, 7 by 2, and do this question on your own. Let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 says, consider the line with equation 2x minus 3y is equal to 18. Find the x-intercepts of the line. Now I'll solve part A. When we say x-intercepts, we mean x-intercept, the y-intercept. So we can say x-intercept is when x has a value and y is equal to 0. Similarly, y-intercept is when y has a value and x is equal to 0. So taking this equation, 2x minus 3y is equal to 18. First, we'll put y is equal to 0. So what will we get? We'll get 2x minus 3 into 0 is equal to 0. That will give us 2x is equal to 0. Why did I write 0 here? It is 18. I'm sorry guys. It is 18. So we get 2x is equal to 18, and hence x will be 18 divided by 2, that is 9. So this is our x-intercept value. So when we take y is equal to 0, we get some value of x, and that value of x is x-intercept. Similarly, let x be 0. When we take x is equal to 0, that will be 2 into 0 minus 3 into y is equal to 18, minus 3y is equal to 18, y is equal to 18 divided by minus 3, that will be minus 6. Now when we take x is equal to 0, we get some value of y, and that value of y is our y-intercept. That is our answer. So we have solved the question for part A. Now in part B, it says determine whether the following points lie on the line. Now this kind of question we have just solved in question number 3. So you can do this question on your own. Part C says find C such that minus 3 comma C lies on the line. Now I'll do this. Part C says minus 3 comma C lies on the line. So what we have to do? We put the value of x, which is this, and the value of y, which is this, into this equation. That will be 2 comma minus 3 minus 3 into c is equal to minus 18. That will be minus 6 minus 3c is equal to minus 18. Taking 6 onto the other side, we get minus 3c is equal to minus 18 plus 6. Taking this minus 3 onto the other side, we get the value of c. That will be, solving this, we get minus 12, and minus 3 is going in the denominator. Minus cancels minus out, and we get c is equal to 4, and that is our answer. We have solved this. Now part D says draw the graph of line showing the results from A, B, and C. So this you can do on your own. We have done questions like this. For this equation, we have to plot the line and then find the x and y intercepts. These x and y intercepts will help you draw a straight line on the chart. Then you can plot these 2 points as well. If these points lie on the line, they will be on the line in the chart. Otherwise they won't. They will be somewhere else. You can also plot this point on that line. Let's move on to the next question. The cost of hiring a trailer for T hours is C is equal to 5T plus $10. Now, as we know, we used to have equations like y is equal to mx plus c. Now, instead of y, we have c, and instead of x, we have t here. So our graph now will look like this. We'll have c in place of y, and will have t in place of x, and everything else will be the same. Find the cost of hiring a trailer for 4 hours. Now, this question you can do on your own. You just have to put t is equal to 4, part A, t is equal to 4, and solve the question for c. The value of c will be your answer. Part B says draw the graph of c against t. Now, this question as well. This is very easy question. Let's move on to the next question. Now we have the cost of nigiri and the cost of sashimi per serve, but we don't know their quantity, as in how many servings of nigiri are there and how many servings of sashimi are there. And it says the total bill is of $45. What it tells us that there are X serves of nigiri and Y serves of sashimi. So we can say X into 4.5 plus Y into 9, that will be equal to the total cost, that is 45. Explain why 4.5 X plus 9Y is equal to 45, and that we can say that in the explanation we can say that the price of each serving of nigiri is 4.5, that's why we multiply 4.5 with X. And the price of each serving of sashimi is $9, that's why we multiply 9 with Y, because Y is the quantity of sashimi. And the question also tells us that the total cost is $45. So that is why we can say that this equation holds true. Now moving on to part B. If Hiroko bought 4 serves of nigiri, how many sashimi did she buy? So in this part, the quantity of nigiri, that is X is equal to 4. Now putting the value of X in this equation, we'll get the value of Y. That will be our answer. That's your homework. If Hiroko bought 1 serve of sashimi, how much nigiri did she buy? Again, this is same kind of question. Now it says that the value of Y is equal to 1. So we have to find the value of X here. This is also your homework. Part D says, draw the graph of this equation, mark 2 points on your graph to indicate your answers to B and C. So using this equation, you can also draw the graph. You have to mark 2 points on your graph to indicate your answer. These 2 points will be whatever the value you get for Y over here, that will be 4, Y. You have to plot that value on the graph in D. Similarly, in part C, you will get some value of X, and you will also plot this point on the chart. This is also your homework. So that's all for exercise 1B. I'll see you in the next session.